What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Basketball Wives Orlando. This is season 1, episode 2. The episode is titled Grand Reopening, Grand Closing. And let's jump right into this review. So we start the episode off with Ashley. She's at a photo shoot for her athletic leisure line, and her husband, he shows up to support her. I mean, good for them, He's supporting his wife. And I'm just like, yeah, you have a bunch of free time. Because once the title said free agent at the bottom, I said, oh, okay, no wonder you're around. Nonetheless, we ain't going to see Mackenzie, okay? She at the house with her kids. And I will say she has some adorable kids. And she talks about how her dad, he happens to be there quite often. Because her dad, he's there in the scene. And she says that, while the baby daddy is out on the road and doing whatever that he out here doing, her dad basically steps in as a father figure for these kids. And honestly, I cannot knock that at all. Because I know that we love to harp on this idea that, oh, the child's father has to be, there all the time, blah, blah, blah. Listen, as long as you have a strong man, you know what I'm saying, in the picture, who can help guide these kids, I see no problem with that. Whether it be an uncle, a cousin, somebody. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, she talks about how, her dad is super supportive of her as well as her mom. She said that her parents have been together for 35 years. So I'm just like, okay, cool. This is great. You were actually able to grow up with a great example of what a loving relationship should look like. And honestly, you guys, this reminds me of the fact that so many times nowadays, people love to throw out this idea of, oh, if you don't have like an example of what a loving family looks like, you choose bad partners. Well, look at this situation. This girl, she had the reference. She knows what love really looks like. However, it's this terrible pick of men that we have. Because I'm pretty sure, now listen, Mackenzie has her faults, for sure. But I'm pretty sure she tried to make things work with her baby daddy. But he had other plans, aka other women on his mind. What the hell are you supposed to do with that? Like, I just feel like a lot of times we love to blame people's upbringings for choosing bad. But you don't initially know that people are bad until they show you who they really are. But nonetheless, we learned the baby girl is seeing somebody else, okay? She is in a whole new relationship. And here's my problem. She tried to keep this shit under wraps. And I'm just like, girl, you do realize that you on a TV show, right? Baby, we done bust out who the hell she dating within this same episode. So, she says that she doesn't want to bring up who she's dating because she don't want the girls to be all up in her business. Because, they nosy. I said, well, girl, they know a lot more than what you think they know. But let's go ahead and move on to Morgan. Now, we see that she's celebrating her daughter's 12th birthday. And honestly, it was so cute. It seemed like it had like a candy theme. It was a lot of other kids there. It was an actual party for a kid. Because y'all know how these shows are. These people spend so much money on all this decor and all this foolishness. They invite a bunch of people who don't have kids, and it's just stupid. But this was actually a kid's party for her child, and I appreciate that. Like, they had jumpers, they had slides. It was for a kid to enjoy themselves, and I was here for it. So now we see that Lindsay, she shows up, as well as Danielle Miller. Now, she is a new girl, and she is the ex-fiance of a NBA player. Now, she has 2 kids with this man, and I can already tell it's some drama. So, they talk about how, Morgan, she met up with Ashley, and how that went nowhere. And Morgan, she basically feels like Ashley has issues with her. And honestly, you guys, the more that I see Morgan, I just realize that she is really in charge of the girls. Like, it seems like Morgan has already made the stance that she is the girl to be around. She's going to give you loyalty. She's going to give you real friendship. She's going to be there for her friends. And That's the type of person that you want to be around. Like, Morgan is giving you a real person, not just somebody who's here for TV. And I appreciate that. So, next thing you know, y'all, we see Neek. She shows up. She brought her son as well as Mackenzie's son. I want to assume that she probably didn't bring the little girl because, she's so young. So, when she goes to sit down with the girls, she's like, yeah, I'm surprised that they let him come. And for me, that was a red flag. Because I'm like, so you mean to tell me that they don't trust you to take their child to a kid's party, but your child can be at the house with them all the time? That doesn't make sense. Especially considering I think that she has time where the kids come over and that baby daddy is not there. So I'm just kind of confused as to why they won't let you take this kid to a kid's party. But this is not my business. So I'm just going to go with the flow with what they're telling us, right? So here comes Danielle, and baby girl is out here putting two and two together because her confessional, she says that, baby, this love triangle between Neek, Mackenzie, and the baby daddy just became a hexagon. I said, ma'am, excuse me? Girl, what are you talking about? Now, according to Danielle, her ex-fiance is now dating Mackenzie. I said, who the hell did the casting for this goddamn show? You have got to be kidding me. How do we have a hexagon situation, y'all? How do we have a love hexagon? Like, shout out to the casting department because this is messy as hell. So, Danielle, she goes on to talk about how she found out that Mackenzie was dating her ex from some mysterious DM. Now, Neek, she just happy that this means that Mackenzie is going to be off her back and out of her business. You know what I'm saying? She not going to be in her man's face because Mackenzie now has somebody else to go worry about. Now, according to Danielle, she's going to let Mackenzie know that their timeline absolutely overlapped. And one of the girls had asked, like, oh, so do you plan on co-parenting with her? She's like, I'm not about to co-parent with her. She ain't even got no ring. She's like, she ain't no fiance or nothing. And I get it. But I can't lie. I did giggle at the fact that the camera decided to pan onto Neek and all she could do was take a sip of a drink. Because, baby, that's exactly what they doing. They co-parenting and Neek is not engaged to that man. Neek is doing a whole lot. Because it sounds like if that man is always on the road, I would not be surprised if those two ladies are still sharing them kids. So I'm just trying to figure out where is his involvement. Oh, I'm sorry, because he provides financially. That's right. Nonetheless, y'all, we see Mulan. Now, she is filming some content and she gives us a little backstory of her life. She lets us know that creating content allows her to still be interested in basketball and whatnot. And I'm just like, okay. Like, Mulan ain't really bringing it for me. I'm going to need more from her. But nonetheless, we go on over to Ashley. She's at home. She over here sick as a dog. And she gives us this backstory about how she started her business. And I was bored. Let's move on. So, we see Megan, okay? Megan, you already know she with the mess. So, she's meeting up with Danielle, Lindsay, and Nikki. Now, Megan, she feels a way about Lindsay because Lindsay is the person who called her out about the whole, you're dating Morgan's ex or whatever that situation was. But girl, that does not negate the fact that you did go out with that lady's ex-husband. Like, yes, she may have put it on Front Street, but here's the cold part about it. What you don't even know, because we got to see the flashback, is that Mackenzie's messy ass is actually the one who told Morgan that you were messing around with him. So here's the thing. It was going to come out regardless. And when it comes to, what's her name, Mackenzie, she is just messy as hell. Because she's already talked to you about it. I'm pretty sure she talked to Ashley. She's told Morgan. She's told Lindsay. Who knows who else she done told this to? Yeah, Mackenzie, you cannot be trusted, okay? So, Danielle, she talks about how, she's missing her kids right now because, they're spending time with their dad because it's the summertime and I guess he gets them over the summer. So Megan, again, she has found out that Mackenzie is the mess starter. So now they done called this girl all kind of little nicknames, being mean girls, but I don't even knock them for it. Nikki, she decides to show up. And y'all, I have a question. Was Nikki's body always like this? Or is it that she has like gained weight over the time? Because I feel like when she was with that man for, her body was great. But it didn't seem like it was this thick. Or am I crazy? But nonetheless, they give Nikki the rundown on this little love hexagon, and then Lindsay shows up. So Megan is like, listen, you hurt my feelings because you called me out. And Lindsay is like, listen, I'm not coming from a bad place. I just think that we should get everything out on the table. And I'm like, okay, I get that. But Lindsay, I don't know how much you're going to be involved on this show. So, I don't know, girl. Maybe it should have came from somebody else. But I guess who else would it come from? Because nobody else is going to call them out at the table. So there's this squirrel that pops up and they start to call it Mackenzie. And I'm just like, y'all are so childish. But nonetheless, we actually see Mackenzie meet up with Morgan. And it seems like at one point, Mackenzie was friends with Morgan. But because now she's choosing to be besties with Ashley, Morgan ain't here for it. Morgan feels like, listen, we are not friends. Mackenzie, you keep capping for, I'm sorry, not capping, you keep caping for Ashley, so there's nothing for us to talk about. So Morgan, you can clearly tell she is over the conversation. She ain't trying to be friends with you, girl. Like, Mackenzie, you have made your bed, now you gotta lie in it, okay? What you should have done is try to remain neutral, like Neek is. So, then we slide back over to Milan, y'all. Now, she's checking in on her little sisters. And I can't lie. Cute little sisters. Mulan is very pretty as well. Now, we learned a little something about these sisters. These two girls ran away from home, went to Miami, crashed their rental car, and then called their big sister to bail them out, of this jam. Not bail them out of jail. I'm just saying, come help them. Here's my thing. Who rented the car for them? Who? Because I know for sure, living in California, you cannot rent a car unless you are over the age of 25. These girls look every bit of 15. Who is renting a car for these two girls? It makes no sense. So, also, my other question was, what's in Miami? What made y'all go there? Y'all didn't want to come see y'all sister? Something ain't making sense. So, she doesn't want her sisters to go down about a bad path. She's trying to tell them that she's there for them and she understands that their mom, she's in a bad place because of their brother actually was murdered. Now, I don't know how recent that is, but it seems like the mom is grieving really hard and she's not being the mom that she once was. You know what I'm saying? To the girls. So, she does invite them to come, visit her for the summer. And I was like, visit? Girl, at this point, you're living okay. You need to take them girls up under your wing. I understand that you are young. You still trying to live your life. You may not want that type of responsibility. But sometimes I do wish that the older siblings, when you notice that things are going wrong for your younger siblings, try to fight for them. Because those people they're not grown, okay? They don't really know how to fight for themselves properly, especially against parents. So maybe you can start this out as a summer thing, and if the girls do well there, see if you can transition them to stay with you. And I get it, it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm sorry, we have had too many times where our girls have been failed over the years. Whether it be from parents not doing what they're supposed to do, circumstances that they didn't, ever think would approach them. Listen, if you can help these young girls, help them. But that's just my stance on it. So, next thing you know, we are at Ashley's reopening of her store. So, I guess it was closed down because of the pandemic, and now they are reopening this. Now, I'm not sure if all of these clothes are Ashley's designs, But baby, that place was filled. I was like, did y'all go to Old Navy and gather some of their clothes to fill up this store, or what is going on? Because the store was actually filled with, athletic wear. I was surprised. I can't lie. Because how many times have we seen people open up stores and all this other foolishness? It's not their designs. They only may have a small collection. But I guess Ashley is really trying to prove that she's a boss. So we also see some of the girls, they're starting to arrive. And y'all, when Nikki gets there, she's there with Megan. Megan looks good. But what the hell did Nikki have on? Like that little crop top and the sweat shorts, that literally looks like something that you will wear around the house. Or if you got to run to the beauty supply store real quick because you need to pick up another pack of braided hair, but you about to be in and out, that's what that outfit was giving. Why are you wearing that in public? Like, Nikki, I'm sorry, but you got to do better. So Megan, she gets there and she's like, hey, I actually invited two people. I invited Nikki and Danielle. And she's saying all of this, I guess because she was only supposed to get a +1. And I'm just like, girl, Ashley should want as many people as possible up in here because she's trying to sell some product. So it really shouldn't matter who shows up. I mean, unless Morgan shows up. That may be a problem. But nonetheless, Ashley is like, I don't really care. I don't have a problem with this girl. And then they go to Mackenzie. And Mackenzie's like, yeah, I don't have a problem with her. But, I'm willing to have a conversation with Danielle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bullshit meters going off. Why are you able to have a conversation with this girl? Why would you even say that you owe her a conversation or you're up to having a conversation? Oh, because you out here doing some shiesty stuff. Because nobody knows, or they're not supposed to know, that you are dating her man or her ex-man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, wait a second, Mackenzie. Something's off about you. Because your response should have just been, yeah, I don't have a problem with her either. I don't really know her. That's what you could have said. Not that you are willing to have a conversation with her. Because that sounds like some things have gone down. But nonetheless, y'all, speaking of Danielle, she actually shows up. Megan goes outside to prep her before she walks in. And did y'all catch when she was like, are people actually buying stuff up in here? And I was like, girl, no, they're here for the free champagne. So Mackenzie is already feeling awkward when this girl walks in. So Danielle, she tells Ashley that, she's close to Morgan. Like, she told her straight up, I'm close to Morgan, but I still want to form my own opinion of you. I appreciate that. So Megan, she wants to introduce Danielle to Mackenzie. Megan is like, listen, let's go ahead and get this shit started because we waited too long. Let's get to the mess. So after she says that, Danielle's like, I ain't going nowhere to go talk to no side bitch. I said, oh, that's how we're starting. We're coming in hot. So Mackenzie, she hears her and was like, he said that you would say that. Again, red flag, Mackenzie, because that means that y'all been pillow talking about the ex. That's weird. It's definitely giving that you knew about this girl. And he is just telling you that, yeah, I left her alone when I started talking to you. It's giving that. I'm sorry, but it is. So, next thing you know, Mackenzie decides to crack a joke, and she was like, oh, Ashley, save me in your phone as side bitch. I'm just like, girl, please go sit down, because that is not even funny. So Danielle, she's like, it's crazy because you were in the same situation with Neek last year. Now, according to Danielle, this man, he calls her all the time. He still wants to be with her, basically. And honestly, she was talking over Mackenzie, so I have no idea what Mackenzie's rebuttal was. But Danielle, she said something that stood out to me also, where she was like, you're not about to bully me. And I'm just like, bully? Who said anything about bullying? How did we get here? But she then says, and you're not about to try to stalk me like you did Neek. I said, well, She got that part right because ain't no way I'm living 3 doors down from my baby daddy and his new woman, especially when you are now in a whole nother situation. That's weird. I'm sorry. Mackenzie is giving weirdo all around. So I just feel like in this whole moment, Mackenzie, she doesn't have anything to really stand on or say because there are some elements of what Danielle is saying is true. That is what I believe. Now, speaking of Danielle, we see her, she meets up with Morgan. And they talk about Ashley's store opening. Now, both of these ladies, they feel like Mackenzie is believing everything that the man is telling her. And I agree. Mackenzie definitely seems like the type to believe everything that a man is telling her. And we actually learn a little bit more about Danielle. Unfortunately, she did something like a lot of women do, especially women who have partners who work in entertainment, who are athletes, and they put all of their energy, all of their livelihood into supporting these people who are, known as the celebrity. And you done push your dreams aside, okay? So she has pushed her dreams aside because they had 2 kids. He had to go play overseas. Like, it was just a lot of stuff going on where this woman did not get to fully become her full potential. You know what I'm saying? Probably around the age that she thought that she would reach certain things because she had to go chase him around the city. She had to go chase him around the world. So then we see Morgan. She talks about how she always gets labeled as bitter, but the only times where she really has to like fight, with Eric over anything, it's over the kids. And it seems like to her, everybody is against her. It's the lawyers, it's now friends, it is Eric. It's a lot going on, and it's just her. So she is going to try her hardest to fight for her kids because her kids don't deserve the way Eric treats them. And I feel like Eric must be MIA from these kids. It's giving he is not a hands-on dad. It's giving he probably provides a little bit financially, but that's it. It's giving deadbeat, honestly. So she talks about how her and Eric basically promised that even if they weren't in a good place, even if they broke up, they weren't together anymore, that the kids would always be a priority, and it's clear that it has changed. Okay, now I don't know if this man is in a new relationship and they have kids or not, but that's even more messed up because a lot of times we have seen men, they will be the perfect dad to that second set of kids, but completely dismiss the first ones. I don't really know if that's the situation, but that'd be messed up if it is. So she even goes on to say how her kids are struggling right now and how her 12-year-old is in therapy 3 times a week. I felt really bad for her. Now, do I think that therapy is a great tool? Absolutely. But for this girl to be in therapy 3 times a week, that's a lot. That means that there is a lot of weight weighing on her. And it's because her parents are no longer together. They've had this divorce. You see your mama trying to do the best that she can. Your daddy is MIA. It's a lot going on. And really, a 12-year-old should be focusing on, hanging out with her friends, getting to some hobbies and crafts and traveling, on family trips and stuff like that. A 12-year-old should not have the weight of a divorce on their shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Feeling bad of, oh, when will I see my dad the next time? That is completely messed up. Like, I really feel like people do not understand how they be screwing these kids over. It's despicable. But nonetheless, keep in mind, y'all, this whole time at this point, the girls are crying. Okay? So, we learned that Ashley and Morgan basically fell out when she was going through the divorce with her ex-husband. And honestly, I feel like Ashley probably took the stance of, well, my husband is friends with him, and I'm going to ride with my husband. And on top of that, she was introducing your ex-husband to other women. So clearly, Ashley had her own damn agenda. And you can't tell me no otherwise. So we learned that there is still a child support battle going on. Ashley is absolutely supporting Eric's side. However, Danielle, she is Team Morgan all the way. I think it's because they can relate to each other. And I honestly respect it. Like, I feel like we are honestly getting some real storylines when it comes to certain girls on this show. And what I mean by that, when it comes to like Morgan, I feel like this is like her real life. Some of the other girls, we'll see what they really bring. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.